You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Tuesday, happy Mars Day, and happy birthday to some notable Leos. I'm going to try something a little different and show you just who we're talking about so you can see the birthdays for yourself. Whitney Houston was a Leo, of course, just makes sense on every level. Bill Skarsgård, Anna Kendrick is a Leo, Melanie Griffith, Gillian Anderson, Sam Elliott, lots of famous actors. Michael Kors is a Leo. Let's see, anyone else? Deion Sanders, Chris Cuomo, Jessica Capshaw, Hoda Kotb. Why is Hoda Kotb so low on this list? Such Leo vibes. So let me know if you like being able to see them for yourself. Super easy for me to do and just kind of a fun little behind the scenes look at where I get the daily birthdays. Happy Tuesday to you too, Corby. So today is going to be a really quick forecast. All we're talking about is the moon and what aspects it's making. Kind of a nice little lull in the midst of a lot of energy. We talked a lot about the Lionsgate portal yesterday, which is still open, still active all week. We're making our way towards the, oh, you did like it. Okay, I'll keep doing that then. We're making our way towards the full moon this Thursday in Aquarius. So today, tomorrow feel like days where we're making some adjustments. That's the phase the moon is in right now. So let's just jump right into it. And as we're getting started, let me know how you're feeling. Hello, Diane. Let me know how the energy is feeling for you today, especially coming off of, I'm sure if you're on social media, you saw everyone and their mother talking about the Lionsgate portal. If you had any insights, downloads come through, or if you're kind of feeling like, what was supposed to happen? It can still happen the rest of the week. Those, profound realizations can still come through. But also, before we jump into the forecast, something that I was having a conversation with someone else on Instagram today, and she was like, yeah, my dreams have been crazy. The energy is intense. And I said, yeah, it's the Lionsgate portal. Just the energy in general over the past week has been really powerful and potent. She's like, yeah, I got a lot of things I got to work on. And I said, yeah, that's great. But also you can just allow things to unfold. And sometimes that's all we have to do is just allow. So just full permission if you're feeling that way too, like, oh gosh, I've got to do all the manifesting and do all the things. Sometimes we can just sit back and let things happen naturally. And today is one of those days that we can just allow and things can just unfold naturally. Hi, Rachel. Oh, afternoon, had unusual dreams, Star Wars related. A lot of people have been having wild dreams. Last night was the first night in a long time I haven't had crazy wild dreams, but that's kind of fun. Were you like in Star Wars? Because that seems more fun than a lot of the dreams that I've had. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into the forecast. All we're talking about is the Capricorn moon today. And just a refresher for you here, the moon does not like to be in Capricorn. It's at its weakest position in Capricorn. That doesn't mean that bad things are going to happen. That doesn't mean if you have a Capricorn moon, there's something wrong with you. But it is good to know that we're a little bit more practical and less emotional when the moon is in Capricorn. And we talked about making adjustments, right? So the moon is in its waxing gibbous phase. You can see it down here, 14 degrees Capricorn. The moon's in its waxing gibbous phase. And the waxing gibbous phase is a time to gather any final data, make some adjustments before we get to the full moon being that culmination point. This is the time where we're kind of gathering more resources, especially with this moon in Capricorn. We can take a practical look at everything that's been building, everything that's been manifesting, maybe our intentions that we set under the new moon, or even our intentions we set under the new moon in Aquarius back in probably February, maybe even late January. So this is another one of those moons, because moons work in 6-month cycles where we're kind of looking back at everything that has grown, everything that has come to fruition since the beginning of the year. And with that being said, this waxing gibbous phase, we can kind of take a practical look and make any adjustments we need to fully realize the intentions we set, whether it was a week and a half ago or 6 months ago. So the Capricorn moon just keeps us really tied into our duties, our responsibilities, practicality, things like that. And the moon is making a few different connections today. The first one actually happened at 1 a.m. So pull up our chart here. And you can see the moon, when it was at 8 degrees, formed a trine. Even that light blue line you can still see formed a trine to Mercury. So moon harmonizing with Mercury. But look what else is at 8 degrees. Jupiter. So again, this was 1 a.m. Pacific time. If you live on the East Coast, 4 a.m. your time, maybe first thing this morning if you live in another part of the world. And these two connections playing out at the same time. Here's how I see that. A lot of us here on the West Coast were asleep at this time, but when the moon harmonizes with Mercury, ideas, thoughts can flow through. We can emotionally process really easily through our rational mind, especially with the moon in this very practical sign of Capricorn. So clear communication can flow through. Now, if you were sleeping, that clear communication could have flowed through your dreams. If you were still awake at 1 a.m. Pacific time, or maybe you woke up in the middle of the night, pay attention to any messages that came through in your dreams or any like random thoughts or ideas you might have had in the middle of the night. It doesn't have to be exactly at 1 a.m. You know, it might have been that you woke up super early this morning and you had a thought, you had a realization, but the square to Jupiter at the same time does make us prone to overdoing it. So maybe you were burning the midnight oil last night and you just kept staying up super late, and Jupiter's influence, especially the square to the moon, just makes us want to do more. So you might have stayed up super late, or if maybe like Ken, you had some pretty intense or overpowering dreams, really grand dreams. Jupiter likes to make everything grander, right? Hello, George. So it's interesting that this happened overnight when most of us aren't really super awake or aware, but maybe you woke up first thing this morning with an idea, a download, a realization, whether it came from your dreams or it just came from your life. And it might have been a big idea, it might have been a grand idea, or it might have just been like you woke up with a surge of energy, you were unable to sleep. That can be the moon squaring Jupiter, especially in the overnight hours. Then at 9 a.m. Pacific time, the moon opposed Lilith. So you can see that here on our chart, the moon in Capricorn opposing Lilith in Cancer. So as the day got started, you might have felt a little bit feistier, a little bit more bitchy. Lilith is known as our inner bitch, but also just like this need to be in control, this need to be sovereign and do things on our own. This energy could carry us through the early morning, early afternoon. So just be nice. Be nice to other people. You don't have to come on too strong. Remember, We can get our point across being gentle, but also I see this, the moon in Capricorn opposing Lilith in Cancer, as showing us very clearly where we're giving our power away. Lilith is very much tied to our power, and noticing where we're giving our power away, whether it's overbooking our schedule or doing things that don't really feel aligned to make other people happy. Whatever that looks like for you, it might kind of piss you off when the moon opposes Lilith, because it is this very like just clear-cut, rational energy, like logical, like I'm doing these things that I don't want to do. You know, the Capricorn moon makes it very cut and dry. So, you know, try not to get pissed off. And this energy has mostly passed by now, but this opposition also brings an opportunity to reclaim our power, to take responsibility for our own emotional experience. So the moon opposing Lilith can be this chance to be like, okay, this is where I'm giving my power away, but here's how I'm going to reclaim it. And doing so in a very logical, matter-of-fact way with this Capricorn moon. I don't see us being overly emotional at all today, because Capricorn moon, it's like this, it is how it is, period, right? The Capricorn moon is just period. So that's kind of how we started off the day. The main headline transit, though, is playing out this afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we're coming into another trine. And here you can see it. The moon, when it hits 18 degrees, we'll just jump ahead a few hours, just so you can see it more clearly. The moon is harmonizing with Uranus and the North Node. That nice conjunction that's been playing out for the past couple weeks, going on in the background. The moon harmonizing with Uranus and the North Node. When the moon and Uranus lock into this balanced angle, surprises, shifts can happen. And this is happening in Earth signs. So I don't see it being like, boom, like a big explosion or a shift. It's more like a tectonic plate shift, right? Like the ground is moving beneath us. Things are unfolding. Things are happening in a very grounded, practical way, which is really nice. But still, whatever's changing right now, whatever is evolving, it could be surprising. And knowing that the North Node is right there too is that reassurance that it's all happening for our highest good, that it's all, everything that's changing right now is pushing us in the direction we're supposed to go, teaching us the lessons we're supposed to learn. So, you know, it could even just be insights, downloads, realizations that are flowing through because we're in the Lionsgate portal, because you know, Uranus and the North Node have been together for a couple weeks. We had that triple conjunction between Uranus, Mars, and the North Node about a week ago. So, you know, things are still unfolding from all of these major transits and portals that are opening, if you will. It's not like 8-8 happens and everything comes through and then it's over. You know, it's not like we have this triple conjunction and then it's over. Mars and Uranus are still within 5 degrees of each other, which is technically still a conjunction, astrologically speaking. So, you know, whatever came up, whatever shifts, changes, shocking things happened during that triple conjunction that we talked about last week, they're still unfolding. We're still processing those things. And today, as the moon harmonizes with Uranus, we could be making more practical sense of the changes that are happening, the things that are unfolding. And, you know, just kind of going back to what we said at the beginning. Dogs are, I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking, but they're going nuts out there. Anyway, it's like the moon harmonizing with Uranus is allowing the unfolding, allowing it to keep progressing. So, you know, remember to be patient. Changes don't happen overnight, and today's connections are just, I see in a simple sense, helping us make sense of these changes that are happening, these shifts that are happening collectively and individually. So don't be surprised if you have ideas or realizations or, you know, just kind of these moments where it's like, yes, okay, that happened because of this, or now I see why the universe put this obstacle in my path, so it would give me this opportunity. It just feels like making sense of things. And those are all the transits today. Really quick show, but here's our affirmation and something that we can kind of hold on to as we flow through changes. Today's energy is very flowing. We have a lot of trines, so it's easy. It's natural. We don't have to force changes. However, as they unfold, our affirmation is, I am willing to adapt. And that goes along with the moon phase too. Like we said, it's the time to make final adjustments. So as things are unfolding, as things are evolving, how are we adapting to them? Today's really a day to ask, am I being adaptive? Am I being flexible? Being willing to be flexible, you know, we're talking about earth signs here, and I am an earth sign, so I know sometimes we kind of stick to our guns and we're like, this is how it is, these are the facts, but being willing to adapt, being willing to adjust the plan a little bit, or even just adapt our mindset, change how we're viewing a situation, that can be really powerful under today's energy, just staying open. And that was kind of the advice I gave for the Lionsgate portal in general, just be open to what comes through, and you might be surprised. You might surprise yourself. So being willing to adapt, being willing to stay open is going to be really helpful. Yeah, cool affirmation. Glad I have mutable signs. Exactly. Those mutable signs, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces, we're great at adapting, right? Even amidst chaos, it's like mutable signs where I like to say we're lucky in that aspect, because there are certain things, especially for us Virgos, like we like things the way we like them, but luckily we can adapt. Fixed signs still getting a lot of the brunt of the energy. That's Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, because we have this conjunction in Taurus. We have a full moon coming up in Aquarius. So if you have a lot of fixed placements, or if you are a fixed sign, you're probably feeling more of a jarring energy, more of a tense energy right now. The shifts that are happening for you probably feel like, oh, wow, okay, like everything is moving. It could be a little bit more shocking or abrupt. And it's, as a fixed sign, it's probably more difficult for you to adapt. So just coming back to staying open, being willing to adapt. All you need is the willingness, and the rest will unfold for you. And then cardinal signs, the moon is in Capricorn, which is a cardinal sign. So emotionally, you might be feeling a little bit more activated if you're a cardinal sign. You might just be having bigger emotions come up. So that's Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries are the cardinal signs. So thanks for bringing that up, Ken. Rachel says, I wanted to share something that happened yesterday while the sun trined Chiron. I did a chakra meditation outside yesterday. Then I pulled a card that didn't fully resonate for me. I was so confused until later in the day I ended up having a conversation with a friend for whom I am sure that card was meant for. I was able to help comfort and bring some healing to my friend who's having a really tough time right now, sending all the love her way. We're sending love her way as well. And yeah, I love that you brought that up, because actually I was feeling that after yesterday's card pull that we did together, the Seven Sisters card that keeps coming up for me. So I do know it was meant for me in some sense, but the last 3 or 4 times I pulled from that deck, I keep pulling that card. And the card yesterday that we all pulled was all about birthing new creations. And right after the show, I walked out into our living room and told my partner, I'm birthing enough. I don't need to birth any new creations right now. Like, thank you, universe, for the abundance of ideas and opportunities, but I don't need to birth anymore. And sometimes knowing like that card was probably meant for someone else listening who found that episode. Also confirmation for me in another way. It wasn't necessarily about the description of the card or the guidebook description, but just knowing, okay, I keep getting this card for a reason. It's like a confirmation from the universe, like this card is really meant for you and kind of the season you're in right now. But last night I was doing some work for the Lionsgate portal. I was in a workshop and I pulled another card from that deck, and that card was water your garden. It was all about rest and relaxation. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's the card meant for me. That is the message I needed to hear. So sometimes recognizing that I don't think we should second guess the card when it comes out. You know, I just take it as this is a message that needed to come through right now. But if you feel like, you had this conversation with your friend and, oh, okay, the card was meant for me to have this knowledge to share in this conversation, go back to the deck, pull another card for yourself. And, you know, sometimes it just takes us being in a different mindset or asking the universe for another message to get what really needs to come through for us in that moment. So that's my little 2 cents on that. But it's also really powerful to know, like, just to trust in the moment, like this card is coming through for a reason. Even if I can't make sense of it yet, it all unfolded and made sense for you later, right, Rachel? So really powerful that you were able to share that with your friend. Okay, well, speaking of cards, let's pull a card. We're going to keep it super simple today and pull from The Universe Has Your Back. No guidebook here, just a simple message that wants to come through. So as I'm shuffling, you guys know the drill. Ask your questions, share your insights. Let me know how the energy is feeling for you. Coming off of the peak of the Lionsgate portal, heading towards this Aquarius full moon on Thursday. Are we excited for the full moon? Are we like, can the energy build anymore? Or can we just release already? That's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, can we just get to the other side of the full moon where we can let it all out, let it all go, just release? Because we're still building. We're still in that building phase of the moon cycle. All right. One more shuffle here. Let's all take a deep breath together. Breathe in. What do we need to know? I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. I love miracles are natural because we're talking about trines today, these balanced, harmonious angles. The word unfold, the word allow, they keep coming up. And natural, we're talking about trines and earth signs as well. So allowing things to unfold is where we can see the miracles in everyday life. Even Rachel pulling that card and not knowing what it was. It's a miracle that she pulled that card and she was a vessel for that information to her friend. To me, that is a miracle. Miracles happen every day. And I love that this also talks about creating mindful moments throughout the day. That's something I've really been focusing on in this busy season when there's a lot of high energy. Just taking 5 minutes, creating a mindful moment. It doesn't even have to be a full journal practice or anything. Sometimes it can just be, I'm giving myself these 5 minutes to do nothing. I'm closing my eyes for 5 minutes. I'm snuggling with my dog for 5 minutes. Creating mindful moments to just slowly fill up your own cup so you don't find yourself depleted in this really high energy portal we're in. A lot of people are feeling that high energy. And I know yesterday I was exhausted, and I know a lot of other people were too. I had to take a nap. So that can be a mindful moment as well. Just checking in with yourself. How am I taking care of myself so that I can be open to the realizations that are coming through, open to the shifts and changes that are happening for me, and reminding myself I am love. Those mindful moments are ways to love ourselves and allow the miracles to unfold. I love this card. I love that we pulled it. Ooh. And my dream was about Baby Yoda doing amazing things with the Force. Believe that no matter how small you believe you are capable of amazing things. I love that you shared that dream. Can we all just take a moment for Baby Yoda and how genius Disney is for creating Baby Yoda? I mean, yes. But also, I love the message that came through and your interpretation of the dream. Yes, Baby Yoda's small and cute and seems innocent, but if you've watched The Mandalorian, you know that Baby Yoda is capable of doing amazing things. And I love how you say, believe that no matter how small you think you are, you're capable of amazing things. We're all sending out ripple effects with our energy. So even just taking that mindful moment, if you're in a good space, sending good energy, sending love to someone else in your life who maybe needs it, or just thinking of them and smiling. That energy, they will feel it. It will affect them, even on a subconscious level. So know that your energy is so powerful, so strong, and just taking care of yourself can help you send good energy to other people. And those small shifts, no matter how small they seem to be right now, are all part of a bigger picture unfolding for our highest good. So trust the small shifts, trust any inklings that are coming through today, any random thoughts or ideas that are coming through. They're meant for you, and you're meant to bring them to fruition. And I love the Force. I love the Force in Star Wars because it really feels like it primed an entire generation or multiple generations of people to get into energy work, right? Like the Force, as we're talking about this 11/11 here on the West Coast, the Force feels just like energy to me, like light energy work. You know, it's the darkness and the Force, or the dark side and the Force, right? So there are so many parallels in Star Wars and spirituality when you really start to look at, like, the Jedi are these energy workers that can manipulate and use the Force for good, and of course Darth Vader using the Force for bad, all those things. Really, you've only seen clips from the series. Oh, you have to watch it if you have Disney Plus. It's good. Just for Baby Yoda. I mean, the series is good, but Baby Yoda really just makes the whole series. That is so funny that you had it. Maybe that dream was telling you to watch the series, you know, maybe be more open to whatever messages are going to come through Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. Who knows? Miracles can come from anywhere. Messages can come from anywhere. Some of the TV shows I've watched over the past year have brought some profound realizations to me, even the fantasy shows. For example, what's the show with Loki? Is it just called Loki? It might just be called Loki on Disney Plus. But that show is all about like timeline hopping and different realities. And I'm like, whoa, Marvel is really preparing all of us to be into different realms, and like all these things that are popping up and becoming more popular in spirituality are really being mirrored in pop culture and the shows that Disney's putting out. Even WandaVision. I was like, if this isn't a show about twin flames, I don't know what is. Like, it makes me happy to see these like deeper concepts being explored in popular culture. So anyway, that was a fun little rant to end on. I hope you all are having a beautiful Tuesday. I hope that you are open and allowing to the realizations, the magic that's flowing through right now. We'll be back in about 2 hours with another episode of The Spiritual Journalist. Lorianne and Bailey Code with Recharge the Soul are joining me. They host women's retreats all around the world, and they'll be sharing their own personal stories about their spiritual journeys, their healing journeys, and why they're so passionate about sharing their healing with thousands of other women around the world. So I'm really excited to share their energy and their light with you. And we'll be back tomorrow morning with another episode of Transits Today. I believe tomorrow we're going to be talking all about, let me tell you, the sun is squaring the north node tomorrow. So the sun is squaring actually the north and south nodes tomorrow, which means that we're at a turning point in our consciousness. I'll leave it at that, and we'll dive a little deeper tomorrow. But just know, whatever's coming through right now is here to help us evolve in our consciousness, in our collective consciousness as well. I hope you have a great day. Yes, use the Force, everyone. Be the light, use the Force, whatever mantra works for you. To me, it's all the same, but just be open to the miracles that are flowing through right now. I love you all. I appreciate you showing up for yourselves today. I love that you show up for this community every day. And I will see you right back here in a couple hours or tomorrow, but whenever I see you next. Until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.